This is a presentation of Fox Sports Sun, IMG, and Gator Vision.
I started playing when I was about 5. I'd never had any baseball practice or training. Nobody in my family had ever played. It was more about just going out and having fun and being on a team. I played right field, about the most boring position you could ever play as a 5-year-old. It was funny how from 5 to 6, how the light bulb kind of changed in my mind in regards to how much I really enjoyed playing baseball. I think my love for coaching came from when I started playing baseball at Cerritos Junior College, being around some not only passionate baseball players but passionate coaches. I really started to figure, man, if I don't have a chance to play in the big leagues or go to college to play baseball, I think I'd like to coach one day. I wanted to be a history major, history teacher, and then a baseball coach, be a high school baseball coach. That was what I thought my dream job would be. Going from baseball coaching at Oral Roberts to softball coaching at Oklahoma was a big career change for me, and really personally, it was a life-changing event. I loved my job at Wichita State, and for me to send a cover letter and a resume to Linda Teeler and Jeremy Foley and the University of Florida, pitching myself to be the next head coach at the University of Florida, I understood what it was going to take to be the coach at the University of Florida and what the goals were. And you look at our successes in all of our female sports at the University of Florida, that's because our athletic director cares not only about the college experience, but hanging banners and winning championships and doing it the right way. And I felt like I had that. I had that drive. I have that ambition.
We saw his letter. We saw his interest. We found out a little more about him. I love the fact that he pitched for Oklahoma and was on the mound the last game at Omaha when they won a national championship. That is a winner. That's a competitor. That's a guy who's not afraid to take the ball in difficult situations. That's not a guy who's afraid to come in here and build a program.
This was, to me, the best job in the entire country. My perception was that we had a program here that was going to allow us the opportunity to achieve national success for all of our players and all of our recruits.
You sit down with people and you get a sense of who they are as a person, who a sense they might be as a recruiter, somebody who really wanted to be part of this program, because it's not an easy place always, expectations are high. And that whole package was there, and we sat down with Tim.
He was totally one of the main reasons why I chose to come here, because of his coaching style. It was something I was used to, and then also like he's a winner. You can just tell he's a winner. He knows how to put a winning team out there, and I wanted to win.
It's amazing what just Coach Walton can do to your swing. In travel ball and in high school, I think a total, I had 2 home runs possibly, I don't know. And now I think I'm on my highest that I've had in the season is 13.
I'd never roomed with a pitcher, always roomed with a position player. And we'd always talk about how would I get you out and how would we go after this guy. And so I think my love and passion for hitting has come from my understanding of how I want to get people out. And when you understand people's weaknesses and you understand their strengths, I think therefore that is what a hitting coach is. I don't spend too much time on technical things that's going to take away from someone's confidence. I just want to work on what they're good at and really work on that confidence side of things. And I think that helps me be a better coach. 2014 was somewhat miserable through the middle because we couldn't play very well at all. We couldn't play well on defense. We hit okay. Our pitching was giving up home runs after home runs, and we just weren't used to that. We had to fail to achieve the successes, and what had to go right was Hannah Rogers. I rooted for her every time she went out there. She had a great work ethic.
Thinking back to all 4 years of all that hard work that actually went into that, and being able to do it with some of my best friends, it was really exciting. I remember when I got the ground ball, I had a big smile on my face as I was reaching for the ground ball. It was just an awesome experience, and I wish that everyone could experience and have that feeling.
See you later, OKC! For the first time in school history, the Florida Gators are national champions!
The weirdest thing to me, though, that I remember, when we won on that last out and we all jumped over the fence of the World Series, I didn't hear anything around us. All I remember is us in that moment in the dog pile and then getting up and jumping with the trophy up and down. And that's all I remember. Like, I don't even know if people were cheering, if people left, if they were standing there.
It was very surreal, because anytime you've ever won anything, there's so much effort and time and emotions put into it. And I just remember it being such like a happy, rewarding feeling.
It's pure happiness in like its rarest form. You just think of all those times that in the work that you've put in, and as you're running to the pile, you're just thinking of all those things and how like amazing it's been this whole journey, and just thinking like, I have another chance to do this. That's what I was thinking of, like, wow, I want this feeling again. So then as soon as it happens, you're thinking of the next one.
It was a lot easier going into the College World Series in 2015 than it was in 2014 because we had confidence. We knew what it was like. We knew what it took to win a national championship. So I think that was an edge that we had.
Ground ball, slowly hit the first. Schwartz tags the bag. See ya later, OKC again. The Gators are back-to-back national champions.
Winning the national championship in 2015 was glorious, is probably the best word I can describe that. It's just a glorious occasion to see our kids and to do that with not Hannah Rogers, but now Lauren Hager. And not very many teams can go back-to-back national championships with two different pitchers, and I think that was pretty special to see our kids do that.
All those long days, all those all-day practices, all those 6 a.m.s, all those homecomings, proms you missed because of softball, like, it's all paid off. Like, you're a national champion and no one can ever take that away from you. It's like the best feeling I've had as a softball player. It's the best feeling that anyone can ever experience, and I hope that the freshman class this year gets to experience the same thing.
College softball is pretty much the biggest stage that most people play at. So the World Series is like the pinnacle. So to be able to go there all 3 years, win it twice, it just makes you hungry. It makes us, our senior class is like, there's no way we're not going back. Like, we have to go back.
I've looked at our last 2 seasons, and I look at it, and yeah, we've had All-Americans, and yeah, we've had Players of the Year, and we've had the SEC Female Athlete of the Year, but I don't look at us as having superstars. I look at players that have risen to the occasion and have gone above and beyond not only expectations, but above and beyond sometimes their own talent level. And I think that's so important for championship teams. And I think we've been a program that has developed our players into becoming superstars, but never acting like it.
Eye on the Gators, presented by Wells Fargo, is brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Florida Gators. By Verizon, official wireless provider of the Florida Gators. By Gatorade, fueling today, fueling the future. Eye on the Gators is presented by Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.
I just try to keep it simple. I used to try to do a lot and try to get a lot out of our pitchers in a short amount of time, and Coach Walton will tell you it take way too long in the bullpen, but I just want everybody to feel really good. I think if there's one thing I'd say, I want everybody to feel good every day about all of their pitches.
If you're working so hard and you're not having fun, you can't really get better. And so we're in the bullpen and we have challenges that make us better, but we keep it fun, and like, me, Alicia, and Kelly will be like, okay, between us 3, we're gonna throw this many strikes and this many balls, just stuff like that. Rocha also makes it fun by giving us, strings, batters, just different challenges, and so she mixes it up.
I think at the end of the day, everybody wants to know, like, you get how they feel. And I think ultimately that's the relationship that I'm trying to build when I'm coaching them and when we're recruiting them is, I get it, everybody wants to say pitchers are a little different and kind of walk to the beat of their own drum, but, I understand what it's like.
Well, Rocha's been through it all. She played at a collegiate level at Oklahoma, and she knows so much. She's so insightful, and to have her call all of her pitches and know the batters so well, been around for numerous years, is extremely helpful.
If like a catcher was calling the game, there's no way Aubrey or whoever it is can watch all of that film and know exactly what the batter's doing and what their history is, what their weak points are, strong points. So with Rocha knowing that, like, it gives you an extra bit of confidence in what you're doing.
I have a lot more time to prepare for our opponents than, our catchers and our pitchers might have. So My job is to get our pitchers ready for a specific lineup or different batters. But I also get a lot of feedback from our pitchers. How did you feel about, throwing that pitch? Where were they in the box? What are you feeling? What do you see? How do you think you can beat her? For me, it's just about, getting to know Delaney's going to be fun and bubbly all the time. Alicia wants to work. She's going to get a little frustrated every now and then. So it's just learning to work through the ups and downs of who they are, too.
The three of us are so different. And so mixing it all up, I think that makes our chemistry different but good, because we don't ever have like a boring day between the three of us, and that kind of keeps the fire up a little bit, so I think that's good.
We all just complement each other really well. Like Delaney has amazing spin and her changeup, and Laylee has a great drop ball, and like I'm more of like a power pitcher, and it just all works very well. Like it's really difficult for teams to prepare for the three of us.
It's really cool to think about having all three of them back next year. It's exciting for me. All three are very different. Three different personalities, three different pitchers. The one thing they all have in common is they are super competitive and they really enjoy pitching. And for me, those two things just make it easy for me to work with them.
This segment has been brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.
I think Coach approached us first as seniors and then as a team about a theme. Because our freshman year, it was like we wore camo and stuff, and it was we're on the hunt, and it was cool. And then sophomore year, it was on a mission, because we left the World Series not the way we wanted to, and so we really carried that. And then last year, it kind of took a little while to really come up with one, and we came up with like the construction, getting down to work, like clocking in, clocking out. This year, he was like, I want to come up with something, but I don't want to, we don't want to force it, We want it to be something that we can all really buy into. So he let us really kind of process it for a long time, and hey, if someone comes up with something, we'll make it work. But we have a plan to get a theme. And I think it was actually Taylor Fuller who brought up brick by brick.
So the brick by brick means that the past classes have set the foundation. We have the foundation of the legacy that they have set for us, the adversity, the communication, the chemistry, all the things that go into a great team. And now each player, we're building off of that. Each player, each class, each individual, you can go on and on for days about it. We're building off of that for future classes also, so that they can continue to build the wall that is going to be unbreakable.
Our senior class really like to think of that we kind of helped rebuild the program. We sort of think of it as a little bit of a legacy, but we don't want to make it about us. So it's we want to think of building something up, building up the younger players so that they really know what Florida softball is about. And then also that we need every single person, whether your job is charting pitches or your job is picking pitches, or if you're a big hitter and your job is to get in runs, every job is important. So I think that brick by brick is a good way to tie it all together, that, we feel like we built something and we want that to last. And then also we want those freshmen, those sophomores, those juniors to really think about what they want their legacy to be and what they want to build up.
Brick by brick is really just setting a foundation, the little things, the mortar of the bricks, and then after you have the mortar, we have the chemistry, we have each other, and then after that you start building brick by brick, layer by layer. How can we make our house, our wall so strong that no one can get in it?
I think it's just special that 5 years from now, people are going to look up here, see my name, and see my class's name, and see all these people that I played with, and it's gonna be wow, they built something. Coach really stresses that all the cool stuff that we get isn't just us. That's because the Stacy Nelsons, the Allie Gardners, Francesca Neas, that they built this program up to where it is, that we get to reap the benefits of that. He stresses that it's important for us to continue to do that so that the classes after us can have the same experience, if not better experience, than we had.
This segment has been brought to you by Gatorade, fueling today, fueling the future. I Am the Gators, presented by Wells Fargo, is brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Florida Gators. By Verizon, official wireless provider of the Florida Gators. By Gatorade, fueling today, fueling the future.
When I look at the 2012 high school graduating class, and that's our senior class now here at the University of Florida, and what they've done for our program, not only the culture of our program, the work ethic of our program, but the championships. But throw the wins out the door. This is by far the biggest championship class we've ever had.
Freshman year, the expectation of our whole team, and even some of the older players on the team, were like, oh, well, we're just gonna have fun. Like, we're picked 6th, 7th in the SEC. And our class came in like, are you kidding? This is Florida softball.
Freshman year, we had it rough. We came after a rough year, and Coach Walton made us earn everything that we got. We had to earn our Gator head, we had to earn our uniforms. We played our first fall game with nothing on our shirt. And so we came in here, we had to earn it. And so that made us realize just how special we have it and how important this program is to us.
We work hard, we are very competitive, we're determined, you know, we never say never. We're just like that very strong class, you know, like we lose, we're bouncing right back.
I think our class, because we have so much experience in big games and on big stages, that they look to us even more. And so I think my vocal skills have almost kind of come down a little bit, actually. Like, I was really trying to be a leader before, and now I don't feel like I have to try as hard.
You don't realize the responsibility and leadership that you have to have until you are a senior. But I think we're doing really well with it, because none of us are outright, here I am, I'm the leader. None of us are huge game changers, as Coach Walton said. We're a team, we're a group.
That's the thing about this team, is just being really selfless. Knowing that sometimes you expect things for yourself, or you expect a season to go a certain way, your performance to go a certain way, and sometimes it doesn't turn out that way. But if you can be that person for someone else, and you can be that light for someone else, then I think you're just doing the best that you can.
We are very close, and we always talk about staying in touch, and are you gonna come to my wedding? Are you gonna babysit my kids? But I think that goes back to freshman year. We had to bond with each other to get through freshman year. It's hard. Between the 6 a.m.s and just college life, you can't do it by yourself.
I think we mix so well, the 5 of us, because we're all so different. Me and Aubrey kind of are the moms. We would call each other that. We all have our little roles, but I think that everybody's always there for each other.
We fight, we make up, we're best friends. I think that it's really unbelievable what we've done here, and I think it's because we love each other. And I would go to war for any single person on this team, but especially my 4 seniors, you know, I love them to death. They're like my best friends, my sisters, they're like my everything. And I know at the end of the day, if I'm having a bad day, they're always gonna be there to pick me up, and vice versa.
When I go back and I think of all these good memories that we've had, and I will never forget those. Aubrey and Taylor, when we were roommates, we would have these long talks, like after, we would be up till like 2 in the morning talking, so it's just those little things that I can remember.
Being a Gator is just the biggest blessing. I can't really say anything else, because it's just given me so many opportunities, and I don't really know where I would be if I didn't come here. And if I wasn't around these people and these girls and just people that believe in me. And just this season for me is really just seeing those people that are gonna be there for me no matter what, and learning that, you know, a sport doesn't define who you are. I think being a Gator really embodies that, because it's just kind of finding out who you are as a person, and softball and your teammates are just kind of like the sprinkles on the cupcake, you know? They just come along with it.
When I look at Heather Braswell, and I look at, you know, her initial adoption in 2009 into our program, I look at a special individual, but I look at what she stands for and what she meant.
Heather, I think, just brought perspective. When you're playing college softball, it's like, it's your whole life. And so you start just getting wrapped up in your own little bubble. And then here's Heather, who just loves to come and visit us, and she's going through something so much more important than what we think is important. She was going through treatments, she was going through a lot of hard stuff, and you couldn't even tell.
You never saw anything affect her, ever. And I wish that I could be a lot like her, honestly. I wish I could be more like her. And when I think about her, I just think about that kind of strength that she has, and I want to embody that strength.
She's given us fight, she's given us spirit, she's given us energy, she's given us tears, and she's given us a half-broken smile that she sometimes used.
I think a lot of us, because it wasn't just me, it was everyone like, oh my gosh, where's Terry, where's Terry? She was just standing there watching us celebrate, you know, and she had some tears in her eyes. She just lost her daughter, you know, and that is so powerful to me that she was at every game after that because she felt it was so important. It was important for her connection with Heather.
Throughout the season, we were all playing for something so much bigger than ourselves, and specifically Heather, and I think that moment kind of just brought her back to us and kind of was a moment to celebrate with her. So that moment with Terry was definitely something really special that I'll always remember.
The most important part of what Heather Braswell gave us was real, and that is that there's so many more important things to do with your life than just be an athlete. But being an athlete, you're gonna touch more lives than you ever can imagine. And we touched Heather, she touched us. Heather means a lot to this program. The yellow portion of anything that we do when it comes down to pediatric cancer.
The sunflowers in our hair that we wear, it's like our subtle way of trying to keep, like, let that live on. And it's really important to us. Every time our class and all the girls that knew Heather like put that flower in her hair, it really means something to us.
I would love to change the events that happen, but I'm so proud of our people for, you know, for what they did and how they shared Heather's story. And Heather's very special. She'll never be forgotten in this program.
This is a presentation of Fox Sports Sun, IMG, and Gator Vision.